Alright, all my gaming friends, it's the end of the year, and it's time to start making my end of year videos. I'm gonna do my top five. Let's get into my top five favorite games of 2024. So, number five, Metal Slug Tactics. This was a cute, nice little game that I wasn't really sure what to expect, but I really love tactical games ever since playing Gears Tactics. I've really started to enjoy tactical games a lot more. I never really played a Metal Slug game, but obviously I was aware of it. It's also interesting to note every single game on my list I played through Game Pass, so possibly I wouldn't have even played them if it wasn't for that incredible service. If you're not on Game Pass and you're an Xbox, you're just missing out. Nice little game, very tactical RPG light, not too deep, but I enjoyed the graphics of it. I just enjoyed the general layout, being able to upgrade your characters. Got that regular cycle of go to your home base, upgrade a little, go out, do some missions, come back, upgrade, do some missions. But honestly, Metal Slug Tactics isn't exactly mind-blowing to me. I had to think up of 5 games that I liked, and this would be my number 5. Metal Slug Tactics, a cute, nice little tactics game if you want to check that out. Alright, I'm going to keep moving on, trying to keep these reviews pretty tight. Number 4 of the year would be Flintlock. A game that I actually glanced at, I downloaded, I played it a tiny little bit. Yes, it's a Souls-like, and I'm not a fan of Souls-like. They're starting to get way too many coming out. It's all just everything's a Souls-born, Souls-like, Souls this. I actually played it, then I uninstalled it because if I'm not into a game, I'll uninstall it right away. But for whatever reason, I was compelled to reinstall it, and then I actually started to really enjoy it. And it's a great little game. It's like a mini Soulsborne. It's not a huge open world. You have these like little zones that you can go through, and the traversal is really fun when you start learning how to jump from these little points, and you have this little creature that runs around with you. I forget what it's called or its name. It's this purple freaky looking thing that's like a cat or a dog. The thing that I find a little bit too tropey in games nowadays is just you have this little thing running around with you. Maybe it talks to you, maybe it doesn't, or it's just there helping out. I like the game. The controls were kind of wonky with using handguns and rifles. I guess it's intentionally slow in a way to make you kind of more tense when you're trying to shoot these dudes and they're coming at you and you only get like 1 or 2 shots off, then you got to reload. I do really like the game. It looks great, it runs great, the world is great, and I still haven't really finished it. I'm probably maybe not even halfway through, but I'm really enjoying it, and I'm gonna go back to my number 3 game of the year. Is another game from Game Pass, Atlas Fallen, Rain of Sand. This is a really fun, awesome game. I never would have tried it out, but it's a fun game, and I love the style. I love the way it looks, the world. When you're walking around and running around the world or sliding around, you can slide around. I just love how it's designed, and you can see the entire area. In one way, it looks unique, but at the same time, it's not anything brand new. But I like how it's not as open world and it's contained. You can see far ahead. The way it's designed, it looks really nice, and the traversal is really fun. When you can jump, and then you get the double jump, and then you can start gliding in the air. When you're fighting around monsters, you can essentially never land. You can pretty much just double jump and glide and attack and go back and forth. You get different kinds of weapons that do different kinds of attacks, which I really like. The standard upgrading, nothing new there with the upgrading with your weapons and your abilities and the suit, but it looks really nice. It runs great, and I enjoy running around in the world, jumping up and hopping up on things and doing the little side quests that you usually get. Pretty standard there in terms of what happens in the game. It's a great little game. I really enjoyed it, and I'm going to go back to that one, of course. Number 2, Hellblade 2. This game is like a cinematic masterpiece. It's barely even a game, really, and I know a lot of reviews docked a lot of points for that because you are watching it a lot more than playing it, but it is a visual feast to watch. Graphically, it destroys anything the best PlayStation's done. This has to be the best looking console game ever made. It looks incredible, and the actress, Melina, she actually won Best Actor award at the Game Awards. So very well deserved. This lady looked like she put herself through hell to play this role. I mean, the game itself is about, mental health. I hope I'm saying her name right because people keep getting her name. Melinda. But when she did win the award, it was really awesome to have Harrison Ford there to give it out. Like, that was kind of amazing that Troy and Todd came out on stage, and then they revealed Harrison Ford, and this is just after Indiana Jones just came out. So it was really awesome to see her get that acknowledgement, and she actually won for the first Hellblade. So she's the first person in the Game Awards history to win 2 awards for the same category. Definitely well deserved for the second. Gameplay wise, it is pretty minimal, but the combat feels really intense and visceral. Like when you're fighting, every single battle feels like a battle to the death. Like, yeah, it is really short. I mean, if it wasn't on Game Pass, I wouldn't play it because I wouldn't spend full price for a game that's about 10 hours average. You can stretch it out, but not very much. But visually, it's just incredible to look at. From the get-go, it opens up on a beach, and the way the world looks, it does run at 30 FPS, which, you know, generally gets on my nerves now after getting used to 60, but in this case it works because it's a cinematic game. It's a very cinematic game. It's like the most cinematic game I've ever played, but the cutscenes are incredible. The graphics, the voice acting is incredible. This game is more of an experience than a game. So Hellblade 2 is my second most favorite game of the year. But my number one game of 2024 is Indiana Stinkin' Jones and the Stinkin' Great Circle. For whatever reason, my anticipation for this game wasn't all that high. I don't know why, because now that I'm playing it, it's absolutely amazing. Perhaps having slightly lower expectations and then it being way better than you thought can change opinion. I grew up on the Indiana Jones movies, the first 3 movies, of course. The last 2 don't count. As far as I'm concerned. As far as I'm concerned as well, this is the 4th. This is the spiritual sequel to the first 3 films. It is a lot like the films. It's so much like the films. It's actually amazing of how well they captured everything. I mean, Troy Baker does the voice of Harrison Ford. Like I mentioned just earlier, him and Todd and Harrison Ford were on the Game Awards, which is so cool to see them there. I feel like if this game came out a month earlier, it could win Game of the Year. Temporarily an Xbox exclusive, so it probably wouldn't have won because that'll fact alone, because Jeff Keighley hates Xbox and he'll give everything to Sony. But that's a whole other thing. It's unfortunate to say that a lot of brand new releases come out and they're not ready, they're not fully cooked in the oven. But this game came out and it's pretty much almost completely flawless. I mean, tiny little bugs that are barely even worth mentioning, but nothing game breaking. And I love the actual first person melee. A lot of people were kind of confused about why did they decide to go first person and not third. It's obviously very influenced by Uncharted and Tomb Raiders. Both those games are very influenced by Indiana Jones. When you steal, you gotta steal from the best. But this game is phenomenal. Like, I'm still playing it. It's so good that I actually kind of stopped the story part of it and went back to the previous areas to collect everything, to collect all the books and the knowledge books which you read to upgrade your abilities. And the cinematics are incredible. There's already an edit on YouTube of every single cutscene cut into one long movie, and I believe it's like almost 5 hours. I'm actually going to watch that after because the cutscenes are just like cutscenes from the movie. Like, the acting is incredible. The guy that plays the antagonist, Emmerich Voss, is really good. Like, crazy over the top, just like a, you know, Indiana Jones villain would be. It's a new story, but it feels a lot like Last Crusade to me. Definitely a lot of Last Crusade with a little bit of Raiders in there. And they actually open the game with a shot-for-shot remake of the first like 10 minutes of Raiders of the Lost Ark, which is amazing. I was kind of in awe almost from the get-go that they were going to do that. I don't know why. I mean, I wasn't really expecting it, but I kind of didn't pay much attention to videos. Like, sometimes if I'm excited for a game, I'll watch too many videos. The developer, Machine Games, has a really awesome pedigree already with doing the Wolfenstein games, and she had one of the Wolfenstein games that I've barely played, but because this is so stinking good, I want to go back to that now for sure, because Machine Games do first-person shooters amazingly. They're one of the best first-person shooter developers out there, I think. I feel like this could be a bit of a game changer in terms of how absolutely incredible a licensed game could be. Timing-wise, it's kind of weird. There was an Indiana Jones that came out earlier this year or late last year, The Dial of Destiny, but I haven't watched that. I don't really want to. I just don't like the older Indiana Jones. The incredible, amazing Harrison Ford, one of my favorite actors ever. I was actually really excited and happy to see him on the Game Awards, even though he looked like he didn't have a clue where he was and he was clearly drunk or something. But whatever, you gotta love the guy.
Thank you very much.
I can't speak any highly about it, but this is my breakdown of my top 5 games of 2024, with number 5 as a recap: Metal Slug Tactics, number 5, number 4, Flintlock, number 3, Atlas Fallen, number 2, Hellblade 2, and Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is my favorite game of 2024. If you haven't played it, what the hell are you doing? Play that stinking game. It's amazing. You're gonna love it, regardless of what you may think, what any notions you have. My notions were just kind of like mid, and about 10 minutes into this game, I swear, I was like, yep, this is my game of the year. For me, it's a 10 out of 10. For the love of God, if you can play this game and you haven't yet, what are you doing? Get on Game Pass on your Xbox or your PC and check it out. I couldn't recommend this game higher. That is it for me, folks. I tried to keep this video as short, as sweet as possible. These are my top 5 games of 2024. I'm going to be working on a wrap-up video of 2024 of the adaptations. This was a pretty damn good year for adaptations as well. But that's a whole other video. All my gamer friends, don't forget to like and subscribe. And don't forget to comment below about whatever your favorite games of the year are. But above all else, don't forget to keep gaming.